Hey, let's make some super easy Oreo bark cookies and cream. Alright, so what I thought I would show you all how to do today is my sweet little vegan called and asked me to put some nice little vegan treat in her care box I'm sending to her. And since it's kind of needs to go out tomorrow, I'm going to make something quick and easy. And this is just going to be Oreo bark, which again, Oreos are vegan. You have to be careful, but the plain ones usually are always vegan. And don't be misled. Milk's favorite cookie, that doesn't mean there's milk in the cookies. And then I'm just using vegan white baking chips. So we're going to put something fun together for her. So the first thing I want to do is melt my chocolate. And I'm just going to take the whole package, 10-ounce white baking chips, and I'm just going to get these all nice and melted soft in the microwave. You can use a double boiler if you'd like to, but I'm just going to use the microwave because it'll go quicker. So the next fun part of this recipe is we're going to put 15 just regular Oreo cookies in just a big Ziploc bag. That's how many the recipe says to do. So 16 is a nice even number. All right, so one thing you can do with this, there's a couple of different ways you can break these up. We just want them kind of chopped. You can do your bark where they're pulverized and it's just nice little bits and pieces of the cookie in your bark, or you can do bigger chunks. It depends on what you want to do. Sometimes what can be fun to do is let out a little bit of hostility just with a little meat mallet and just kind of bang on them. Get them broke up a little bit. Another way you can do it is just with your hands. I mean, Oreo cookies are not that hard, so you can just crumple them up with your hands. But you just want to get them in small enough pieces that it's not like just this whole entire Oreo cookie in your mouth when you try to eat a piece of bark. Okay? It's just a little bit cleaner and neater to do it this way because it's all, like you can see, it gets kind of messy. It's all in the package. So next thing we want to do is get our little fine dust for the top. When we actually get the bark poured into the pan, we want to make sure that we've got a nice little fine crust to go on top. So I'm just going to put 3 or 4 cookies, and we're going to pulverize these down. Alright, so now what we want to do is we're going to put all of this together. And that's why I was telling you this recipe looks like it would be really great for something quick and easy that you want to do. Alright, so here's the assembly. We have our chopped up Oreos, and then we've got our crumb coating that's going to go on the top. And then we have our beautiful melted white vegan chocolate. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, and so all we need to do is add our Oreos to the bark, to our melted chocolate. Get all that in there. And then just get that all covered up. And if you like to have your bark to be a little bit more thick, or you want a little bit more white chocolate than what you're seeing here, you can always add more melted chocolate. But since I haven't made this recipe before, this is kind of what I'm going with right now. I think I've got everything kind of covered pretty good. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I have wax paper in an 8x8 pan, and I'm just going to pour that into the wax papered pan. Get all that in there. Oh, that looks so yummy. Don't want to miss any of that. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of hold on to your wax paper a little bit so it doesn't go sliding everywhere, and just try and get that evened out a little bit. Okay. And again, this recipe seems like it's pretty easy. It's pretty accommodating to whatever you might like to have. Like if you want smaller pieces of Oreo cookie, you could do that. Or if you want more chocolate, you could do it that way. I'm going to take out this big chunk because that's not exactly what I want on the top of my cookie. We're going to just take a little spoon and we're just going to sprinkle this on top. And this is just giving it, you see how the white chocolate and the Oreos have kind of taken on a little bit of a gray hue, which is not as appetizing as you might like for it to be. So just sprinkle a little bit of the Oreo on top, and that way it gives it a little bit of a nicer look. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is stick this in the fridge for about 10 minutes and let it solidify up, and then we'll bring it back and show you what it looks like. Okay, and there you go. I thought we would try out another experiment while I've got you guys, and we're waiting on our Oreo bark to solidify up a little bit. I thought we would play around with a few little molds. I've never done molds before, and I've heard that they're not that complicated, but knowing my luck, they will be. So for all intensive purposes, I've heard all you have to really do is just melt some chocolate, which again, I have my vegan chocolate because I'm going to send this to my little vegan. And I'm only going to do a little bit to start out with. Because I don't know how these are going to turn out, and I don't want to waste a whole lot of chocolate, so I'm just going to melt this in the microwave. All right, so all I know to do with these molds is just to pour some chocolate in them. I mean, we're just going to see how this goes. I truly do not know how to do this. But I'm just going to put a little bit of chocolate in Santa's little spot. Let's see, and here's a little wreath. So that's why I'm not doing a lot of chocolate. I don't know how these are going to turn out. What I'm going to do is put these in the freezer for a little while and let them kind of firm up. And then we'll come back and see. I mean, obviously, I know people out there that have done these before are probably cringing because this is probably not at all the way you're supposed to do this. But wouldn't it be great if they were just this easy? All right. So you can break off pieces like that. Okay, and you see how nice and thick that is? Oh, that looks so wonderful. I hope you like this little short video. This is a great little recipe that you can make quickly. Like I said, all in all, it took about an hour. You probably could have just cooled it for about 10 to 15 minutes and served it. It would have been fine. But I cooled it longer just to make sure it's nice and firm. But again, hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next bake. I almost forgot to show you guys. We tried the little, oh, look at there. We tried the little molds, and it looks like freezing them is definitely the way to go. Would need to kind of clean them up a little bit because they're, you know, a little rough around the edges, but it definitely looks like putting them in the freezer is just the best way to get them to come out of the molds really easily. Just would have to, like I said, kind of tidy them up a little bit. But aren't they cute? That turned out really great. I didn't expect them to turn out that well. So there you go. There's P.S. The candy molds work fantastic. Just wanted to take a minute to thank all my subscribers. I am happy that each and every one of you are here with me on this journey. And please don't hesitate to give any suggestions in the comments below of things you'd like for me to make. I also have another channel called Karen Norwood Travel if you like doing some budget-friendly and camping travel.